What's up, guys? Today I want to talk a little bit about why I think grades are not a good way to measure learning. So, a bit about me. I am a college professor teaching the art of communication, written communication, and I have been in the field for almost 20 years now. And I've worked in various different schools, including high schools. And something that I've noticed in my years of teaching is that grades and the act of grading students' work, while I can understand why we have this in place, I believe that what it overall does is diminish our sense of intrinsic motivation. It diminishes our ability to have a growth mindset, and it separates us from what we're learning, which to me, obviously, education, the purpose of that is to truly learn and expand. And I think that the obsession with measuring every outcome and the constant standardized tests have done a lot to remove us from that goal. So why do I think grades are bad? Well, one reason is just that it gives me this much of work to go through when I'd much rather be relaxing. But that's not the real reason. What I have seen is that many students come to me at the college level having had a teacher at some point or an experience at school that caused them to believe that they were somehow unable, not a good writer, less than, or I've heard stupid, based on an experience from high school or a teacher or something like that. And I have found that a lot of these students actually had tremendous writing capabilities, and many were brilliant. And so I've dug into this a good bit, and one of the things I have noticed is, one, we only learn when something's relevant to us. And so the structure of schools already put students in a position where their agency choice is removed from them. Information is being crammed into brains, or the attempt of that is taking place, right? And so without the relevance, one, students aren't able to fire and wire those new neurons and maintain that. One of the reasons why we lose over summer, there's so much loss, is because the information being taught isn't very relevant. And then we have the issue of grades, because when we are externally motivated for a result, what we can see from the research is that we're not in a growth mindset, and so we're actually not learning. And what we see happen in schools is the cramming and purging. So students might be able to cram information in so they can get the result, but they're going to purge that information when it's not relevant. And so I think grades and standardized tests really exacerbate this problem, because we're teaching students that they need to care more about that external outcome than about the learning itself. And until we can put the emphasis on creating material that students are genuinely interested in, and really encouraging growth mindset. Not just, I've taught it in high schools, not just telling students, hey, it's good to care about what you're doing because it's good for you, but to actually facilitate that, where students are able to choose what they're learning about. They are picking things that are relevant to them in their lives, much as we do as adults. And we're able to, like Dr. Huberman points out, really get the most out of our dopamine reaching for goals. So I'm really curious to know what your experience has been with grades and grading as students, as teachers, as parents. What has been your experience? What do you think about grades? Leave it in the chat below.